Hey, Free Spirit Beaders, Kristen Fagan here for a new episode of Free Spirit Beading on the Softlex Company YouTube channel. Welcome, welcome. Let me just, I'm gonna look to the right here so that I can see your comments because sometimes they just go a little too quickly on my camera device. Hi, Gail. Welcome. Happy Monday. Who else is here with us today? We are going to be working with the gold and silver bead strands, the silver sparkles and gold sparkles that we have online at softlexcompany.com. And we have a special offer going on right now until tomorrow, which is December 22nd, midnight Pacific time. So we've got this gorgeous gold sparkle strand, and this one is the silver sparkles. How pretty they are. You can get one of these for free, your choice, with your order of $39 or more. Simply put in a coupon code GOLD if you want the gold strand free, and silver if you want the silver strand free. We've never done a free bead strand at that low of a price point. So you just have to get to $39, pick up some crimps, some wire, maybe some clasps or things that you need to replenish after making all of your holiday gifts, craft wire. Anything you need, and you get to $39 or more, you get a free one of these strands while they last up until tomorrow night, midnight Pacific time. Pretty sweet. Hi, Lydia, Diane, and Fern. Great to see you. Tony, too. So if you guys received the mixed metals design kit, that was our December design kit. It's now sold out, but that is what these bead strands were introduced to go along with, coordinate with those. And I feel like this is a strand, I mean, either of them, whether you want the gold or the silver, is a strand you could use any time of year, which is really nice. Just classic gold, silver, can go with anything. You can cut the strand up, use beads individually, or just use it as they are all together. Hey, Karen and Deborah and Susanna, Gloria, welcome. Lovely to see you all today. So we're just gonna do two simply strung necklaces with those bead strands, and we're gonna incorporate some onyx with the silver strand. So we're gonna bring in some gemstone beads, and then I have some special Murano Venetian glass squares. We don't sell the glass squares at softlexcompany.com. This is an item that you may find in one of our live sales though. We've had quite a few of these in all different colors in the Softlex Company live bead sales that we do over on our Facebook page. So if you're interested in that, join us on Facebook, and then you'll be alerted when we've got one of those sales going on, or go to our website, softlexcompany.com, and join our email list, and that will also alert you to when we have one of those sales going on. Our next one is scheduled for December 29th. So 1 o'clock Pacific time on Facebook. You can mark your calendar, and that is going to be one of our live sales from Mike's personal collection. Now the onyx beads are super cool. They are really large. They are these overlapping matte onyx beads, and we do sell these at softlexcompany.com. There's a limited quantity. All of our beads on the Softlex Company website tend to be limited quantity. There's only a handful. A lot of them are very unique beads that were picked up by Mike through the years, and we don't usually have a large supply of them. but you can find them in the squares that we're going to be using today. We also have them in overlapping diamond shaped, and then there's a few like cylinder and rectangles. Really cool. Let's see, we got anybody else on here? Oh, Diane loved the December kit. Awesome, yay! I know that mixed metals kit is so cool. A lot of really fun beads in there and other surprises too. Sarah will be doing the reveal on December 30th, I think, the last Wednesday of the month. Yeah, December 30th. Over on the Softflex Company Facebook page, so you guys can check out what was in that kit, because like I said, it's currently sold out, and that's when we'll release our new kit for January. So you can mark the calendar for that too. Hey Fran, hey Becky. All right, there's quite a few of you here now. Let me go ahead and turn you guys down to the beading table. Hope you're all hanging in there in this last week before the holiday. Oh, hi, Bert. You wanted to shout out too? My husband popped in to say hello. Nice to see you. All right. So what should we do first? Silver or gold? Gold or silver? What do you guys think? Which one should we do first? I'm gonna have you help me pick out some of the wire colors to use today. Silver from Lydia. Okay, so for the silver, Susanna says gold. Bert says silver, so we got 2 for silver. Karen says gold. Becky gold. Shirley silver. Oh my goodness, we're neck and neck here. I think we're tied. We need a tiebreaker. 1, 2, 3, 4 for silver. 1, 2, 3, 4 for gold. And we got 1 more silver. Mary, you were the tiebreaker. All right, so we'll start with the silver first. And Fern 2. So my goal with this one, I really want to use all of these onyx beads, because when they are next to one another and they're gonna kind of turn up like that, I think that's just such a pretty, interesting shape. So that's gonna be my focal here, and then I'm gonna use the silver to go up the sides. And I also have some more onyx in these little ovals, and I picked these up at a live sale as well. So I will possibly use those maybe as some spacer beads. So we can either go with the 925 sterling silver Extreme Flex medium 0.019 beading wire. This is a silver plated beading wire. Or we can go with classic black onyx. Also, again, medium 0.019. And this is the original Softflex beading wire. So the difference between these two are this one has a stainless steel core, 49 strands, micro braided, colored in black, and then has a nylon coating on top. And this one is a copper core. It has a little bit different of a construction. It's like a 1x19 construction, and it is plated with real 925 silver, and then it has nylon coating on top. All right, we got 3 for black and 1 for silver. And while silver is super gorgeous, and I love it a lot, I'm gonna go ahead with the black. And I think that'll go really nice with a couple of these beads have like openings. So you'll see that black through the center there. And then if you wanted that to disappear, then you would probably wanna go more with the silver. So I think what I'm going to do is one wire more flexible than the other? Yes, the Soft Flex Original is more flexible than the plated. You have to be a little more delicate with the plated wire. The construction's a little bit, it's still just as strong, but I would say it's where how this is much more forgiving in its flexibility than the extreme flexes. So I'm going to work from the spool, I think, today, and I'm going to start by stringing these 5 in my center and just work on one side of the necklace. So just taking some wire off my spool, and then I'll put the little clip back on so it doesn't unravel too far, and start with these awesome beads. You kind of have to remember what direction like you take them off at so that they overlap the same way, unless you want to overlap them differently. And I don't know if you guys remember, but we had a Dr. Seuss kit. I think that was this year. I think that was, it's hard to remember. But we had a Dr. Seuss kit, and we used some matte, or I used some of these matte onyx beads to paint. Because you can paint, because of the nice matte surface on here. All right, let's see. I just took it off wire, so we know it should go through. I'll move to the next one. Huh. I wonder if the medium is too, let me see if I have a little reamer. I don't want to go in too far. I might have to switch to fine if the medium might be a little bit too snug for this one, which is interesting because it came off of this, which looks even thicker. Ah, that one went in just fine. Interesting. Maybe I was holding it weird. Okay. Okay, that looked like it was just a user error. Okay. Yeah, they're going in just fine now. So maybe I was holding it at a weird angle. Good to know that if you've got it tilted up or something, maybe it won't go through quite as easily. There we go. And then I'm going to use my cutters to cut free this strand here. And if you wanted to just use it the same way that the strand was, you can go up. Thanks, Gloria. Yeah, it was definitely a user error. I don't know what was happening. Maybe I was holding the bead at a weird angle, and so it was being funny. Jesse James Beads, we work with them on these bead strands. A lot of you guys know they exclusively make these for us, for our kits. And they do such a good job putting these together that you don't have to really change it up much, you know? You can kind of go with what they, the life of a crafter, yeah. So true. You can kind of just go with what they did. or you can break it up and make the design your own, but either way, it's nice to have some options there. I'm not sure I like it in this little spot here. Let me take these out. I like it there. Maybe I just need to be a little more. I think because this bead is so big, it just felt like it was off. Let's see what happens now. So this is just stringing. You just have to, soft flex beading wire is really easy to work with and string. It's super flexible, it's super strong. And as long as your beads fit on the wire diameter you're using, you should be good to go. Yeah, it looks a little more balanced taking that onyx out of there, I think, right? There we go. So we got one side done. So I'm gonna just take a little more wire off my spool. Yes, Lydia, I hope the night sky is clear tonight for everyone to see Jupiter and Saturn. I think here in Arizona, it's supposed to be around shortly after sunset. I've seen people say like 6:30, but I'm not sure if it's actually earlier than that. I'll probably just peek outside a few times. All right, so I'm just gonna take this bead off because this was the center piece of the other strand, so it doesn't quite fit the balance. And then I can just string these up this side. I did not see the meteorite shower. Good question, Karen. Did anyone else catch it? I should have put it in my phone because I read about it and then I forgot when it was happening. It's like if I don't set a reminder, things do not happen. Speaking of which, it's also winter solstice today, so happy winter solstice to everybody. Oh, it's cloudy and rainy in Michigan. I hope it clears up a little bit for you to see tonight, I wonder. This is such a neat little bead. I don't know that I've seen this one before. I should kind of look at this. Because you can go in any direction. You can even play. I have one left, so maybe I can play with something like having wires kind of poking in and out all over. You know what I mean? Like you can really have fun with something like that. Maybe if you had a couple of strands, like 2-strand necklaces, you could have it coming out of different areas. That's pretty fun. Now on the back side, you can just leave the soft flex if you want, or you can bead all the way up to your clasp. That's up to you. Soft flex is really comfortable. And a couple of reasons why you might want to leave it empty is it'll save you from using some beads. It will help make your necklace a little bit lighter if it's getting heavy. And this has actually got a little heft to it because these are kind of heavy up here. But I really like, I mean, I guess you could go down to 3 if you just wanted to do 3, but I really like the way 5 looks. Let me just pick this up for a second and see where I'm at on my neck. Yeah, it makes such a statement. And it's just classic colors, right? Let's move this guy out of the way and see what it looks like on the white background. So cool. I think I'm gonna leave it. I did pull out some seed beads too, so you can use something like that to also bead up the back if you wanted to. I would probably keep it kind of small since you are really having a little bit of weight there. Hey, Sarah James, thanks for joining us. Yeah, the square beads are so cool. Very cool. Yes, New Year's Eve vibe, exactly. I didn't even say that, but that was my goal. We're doing 2 necklaces, ideas to help start the new year in sparkles. So I'm going to pull out 4 crimps. And I'm going to use the magical crimping plier. I'll actually use, I think, a regular crimper on the next one so you guys can see the difference. And I'm just going to cut a little bit of the end of the wire on this side because when you're working with the magical crimper to get a nice bead and to actually have it hold, you need 2 strands running through that crimp. So to give yourself, when I'm just putting it on an end like this and I only have 1 strand, you're going to put that little second cheater strand in there just to give you enough to grip onto. So you're going to first pass your crimp right into your crimping pliers, make a little ravioli with pinch corners, and then you're going to turn it 90 degrees, put it back in that notch, squeeze it again, and then go around a few times. I mean, I don't have anywhere to go for New Year's this year, but that doesn't need to stop me from getting dressed up and being all sparkly, right? Have your own little party. We call champagne sparkles around these parts. Yeah, it's perfect. How would you design earrings and a bracelet to match? Well, if you get a few more strands, usually Jessie James bead strand just on its own would be enough to make yourself a bracelet. Let me move these down here. And then you can always save like 2 beads from the strand to make yourself some matching earrings. I didn't save any today, so I'm just gonna go for a necklace. But you can easily grab like one of these larger beads or maybe one of these guys and add it with a little onyx and you would be all set. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to trim a little off the top here to give myself a little cheater strand. And before I crimp, I want to make sure that my necklace is not too tight, is going to be nice and movable. So I'm just going to put it in the shape that it's going to hang. And then you can crimp it, because if If you had it laying totally straight and you crimped it nice and tight, it's not going to bend on your neck properly. And even worse, it's going to create tension on the strand and create tension at the crimp. So you always want to make sure you give yourself a little bit of slack and you kind of just form it into that loop shape. Same for bracelets. And then we'll put the clasp on the top. So I'm going to give this a little measure. What is your favorite length necklace? Do you guys know where you're, I mean, every design is a little bit different. Do you have a go-to necklace size? Fern says 18. Yeah, I tend to be a little bit longer. I'm starting to get a little shorter, but I tend to be around 20 inches I like. This one right now, where it's at, is 27. So I think I'm gonna go, maybe I'll go to 24. There's one crimp and my other crimp tried to escape. All right, so next question is gonna be, which clasp are we gonna go with? I have these really sweet magnetic clasps. Nancy's been going from 18 to 20, which could be awesome. I haven't tried using one of these yet, but they are very strong. So it might be nice to work with that today. Or we've got these really pretty toggles, these little maker's toggles. And I don't think we have some larger ones too, but I don't have any silver right now in the larger one. So what do you guys think? Should we try the magnetic or should I go with a toggle? I'm just curious to try this one because I want to wear it and see how it all works. Paula says magnetic. I love when you guys help me design. If you slide the magnets, not pull them apart, it's easier. Yes, Abby, that is also what the manufacturer had said. So I'm gonna give this magnet a try. So I strung my wire through my crimp tube. It's a 2x2 millimeter crimp tube by Softlex Company, through the end of the magnetic clasp and then back down to create a loop. And then I'm gonna go ahead and slide that crimp right into your pliers. Just be careful because your clasp is gonna wanna attach to your tool. You know it's strong. And then just use your flush cutters, flat side, towards the crimp, trim off that wire. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. So crimp, clasp, loop it back down. And then crimp. So these bead strands were just absolutely gorgeous to start with. You didn't really even have to do a whole lot to them, but by adding in some gorgeous onyx beads, you really kind of up the glam, up the ante a little bit on that. And this is such a classic style that you can use this, you can wear this all the time. Super cool. And nothing like some really unique beads in the front. Like I said, you can paint these. So I used some paint pens and some acrylic paint, and I was able to, I just sealed it with acrylic sealer. Like even just a Mod Podge or something would work too. It's really fun. So now we're gonna do the same thing for the gold. We're gonna take this gold strand and we're gonna add some of these artist glass in the center with it to kind of do the same thing, to just sort of glam it up, take it over the top. And these actually have a hole like right in the center. I love how they look like little works of art because they are. And now let me cut this strand. But before I do that, let's look at what wire. I think I'm actually going to use our Pro Econoflex wire on this one. So this one doesn't always look the best on the spool, but when you pull it out, it does have a nice gold tone that will match with this deeper tones of gold really well. We're completely out, I think, right now of the extreme 24 karat gold, so that would have been another option. So that, and then this is our champagne, which if you wanted to keep it a little softer, you can go with the champagne as well. And a little black would look good with it too. Yeah, I do think so because there's a little bit of black in there. So you could actually stick with black too. So what do you guys think? Should I just stick with black and do them both with black wire, or should I do the Pro Econoflex on this one? And just to give you a little difference, so all of Softflex Original and Extreme Wire is made in the USA. Our Pro Econoflex line and our Econoflex line are not made in the USA. So they're a little bit more of, we consider our hobby wire. But it does have 49 strands, and it is a nice sturdy wire. It's just not going to be quite as flexible as Softflex, and again, it's not made here in the USA. When using this wire, I'm going to use the regular crimping pliers. So I'll be using these today with this wire instead, and that is because the magical crimping plier is really formulated specifically for Softflex Original beading wire, and it grasps into that nylon really well. So if you're not using the original, then you should go with one of these other crimpers. So we've got Pro Econoflex Gold, Gold, Gold. I was thinking of the small onyx beads. Oh, you were thinking of, yeah, that's true. I do have some of these guys left. Thanks, Fern. I missed that that's what you meant. But yeah, I could totally add a few of these in there. I think that would be really pretty. So we're going to go with the Econoflex Gold. And I'll do the same thing. I'm just going to pull some wire out. I'm going to leave it on the spool, and I'm going to start with the center on one side. I know I want to put these three kind of right in the center. And let's see what I want to put in between. Let's trim the beads off this one. I could do, I have 3 of these, so I could do 2 of them in between. What do I have just 2 of? I could do maybe those 2 in between. Maybe those 2 right in between. That might be really nice. Add a nice big sparkle right in the center. I will say we've had people ask for 0.014 diameter and 49 strand for years, and it does not come in our original Softflex, but it does come in the Pro Econoflex. So we've only had Pro Econoflex in gold color and like the original satin silver color, but if you do want a fine beading wire 0.014 in a 49 strand, you can get that in this particular brand. Damien is saying, yes, our Extreme 24K gold-plated wire is out of stock for now. Yeah, I think there's some in the outlet. I don't remember what diameter we have, but I believe that we have some in our outlet sale, so you can get it over there. Let's see, what do we want to do next? I think it's just 1 diameter, 1 size that we happen to have in the outlet. And I like Fern's idea of adding in some black. I'm just trying to figure out where, because these beads are so much bigger. Where would they kind of fit? Maybe after this one? Or maybe just towards the back, like after. Oh, I actually wonder if I should put this guy in the center. What do you think? Do you think these are taken away from it just a little bit? I feel like they are. Or maybe the onyx right there. And the onyx right there, like on either end. I feel like that's kind of taken away. And then I think it'll be nice to have that gold color kind of going up the side. So I can either do this in between. I still feel like maybe the size is a little bit big though. Or I can do the little onyx in between. I think I like the onyx better. Yes. Yeah, we got another vote for the onyx. Yeah, I think it helps allow the beads, these beads, to shine. It doesn't take away from them right in the center. Hi, Maria, welcome. Yeah, we're just working on our second necklace design, doing some simple stringing, adding some fancy beads to the silver and gold sparkles bead strands that we have online. Cute. That looks cute now. All right, so what was next? There we go. Has anyone made cookies yet for this season? I just started, I made some last night. I made ginger molasses cookies, which are Sarah's recipe. And oh my gosh, I love them so much. I don't even want to admit how many I've eaten. It's a good thing that recipe makes a ton, or maybe it's not a good thing, but I usually like to give some cookies to people. So if it didn't make a ton, I would have to be making some more right now. I don't know where to add any more onyx beads. I'm trying to decide here. Yeah, they're really good. And actually, they're even on our blog at Softflex Company. A couple of years, Sarah shared the recipe. So you can find it on there too. Oh, the challenges, the challenges. I wonder if I should save these for something else, like a pair of earrings. Can't use that guy. I can use this one. Ooh, your mom usually makes fudge. That sounds so decadent. I've never made any fudge. I have made caramels in the past, and those are really yummy. Yeah, I think the cage beads, I love them, but I feel like they were, again, you know, you want to make sure that you are keeping the focus where you want it and not get too distracting. I think that the cage beads would be really fun for some earrings. All right, and now I can cut it away from the spool. Maybe move it down a little bit. And finish up the other side, and then we'll use the regular crimper. So if you want to see how that works, I will share how to crimp with the old school regular crimper when using this particular wire. Lydia's sister made her snickerdoodles. Oh, that's so nice. I have a friend who used to make me rainbow cookies and send them in the mail. If you guys know what those are, the Italian rainbow cookies. Oh, so lovely. Now we found a bakery here that we can go and get them, but I thought I had 2 of these, but maybe I only had 1. Yeah, I love those too, Fern. Oh my gosh. So yeah, now we have a bakery over here by us that, well, not really by us. It's still kind of a ways from us, but at least it's one that we can go to when I'm really craving the holiday treats like that. I imagine they are tough to make. What am I missing? Oh, I'm missing another bead here. They're like 3 layers and probably one of those things that took her like all day to make a bunch of them, you know? You think I should just leave the onyx just in the front and maybe one at the end? Because I've just got the 4 here right now. Maybe I don't even need that guy. Do we want to end it with onyx there, and then we'll have a gold crimp right there? I think I'll save this one too because it's kind of large in comparison towards the end. Yeah, it's like a pretty coppery gold. These two together would make some really nice drop earrings. So we will save those. And now we need a clasp for this one. So we've got, again, we can use these little maker clasp toggles. That one would be really pretty. I can go with the larger toggle. This is called the ellipse toggle. And I also have these little hook and eye clasps that are really pretty that I've wanted to play with. So I could do that too on the end. And then there's also a teeny tiny toggle. I have these really small. These are called the Anna clasps, and we've got these at Softflex Company. All of the clasps are at softflexcompany.com. These are just really tiny, which these could be nice too because they'll sort of disappear back there. Small toggle or the hook and eye. So we'll take away the big one. So we've got the hook and eye, the maker, or the teeny Anna. And thank you for sharing the links to those, Damien. I'll grab some crimps. So now I'm going to use the 2x2 crimps in the gold-filled color. Oh, a couple for the hook and eye. Awesome. I was actually looking for, that's another one that I don't use that much, and I was kind of like, I like to use them and then I can wear this and just see how it feels and how I like it. I know when I asked you guys the last time I used the hook and eye, if you use them on necklaces or bracelets, and you guys all said bracelets. I mean, you all said necklaces, excuse me. All right, I got a little bead stopper. I'm gonna stick on this end just to make sure I don't lose any of those beads while I'm crimping. These are currently, we have got a bunch of them on closeout. So if you want to pick some up, it's a great time to grab them. We've decided not to carry so many different colors, so we're closing out a bunch of the colors, and we're just going to have a few basic ones. I think we're actually just even going to have just red. Never on a bracelet unless you want to lose it. I've seen people do like the really large hook and eye on bracelets. But I've never worn one myself. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't stay as well. I'm going to do the 2-strand kind of trick again with this wire and the regular crimper, only because I just want to make sure it really grabs a hold of it. So when you're using this as the regular crimping pliers, this one's been around forever. It's got 2 notches. It's got a notch in the back, which is called your crimper, and then the notch in the front, which is called your rounder. You're going to place your crimp in the back notch first, just like so, and then you're going to give it a squeeze, like a little firm handshake. You don't want to go too hard, and what that will do is it creates a divot in there, and then you're going to turn either your pliers or your crimp so that it's 90 degrees and you've got your divot facing, see how the divot's now facing this direction, facing down or facing up. And then you're going to squeeze that in the rounder. And then you just go around a couple more times. And what that does, and you're just staying in that rounder, is help cinch it down into your wire and kind of shapes your crimp nicely. So there you go. You have a nice crimped and folded tube. Very secure. We always at Softflex Company recommend using a crimping pliers, pair of crimping pliers for your crimps. It makes a big difference. And then to do the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put my necklace into that U shape. Take off my bead stopper. Slide down my gold filled 2x2 crimp tube. Cut a little piece from the end to slide in here. And then do the same thing on this side. Sarah James, are you still here? I don't know if you just popped in or popped out, but how are you feeling if you are still here? I hope you're doing well, recovering. She had some ACL surgery. Then you just trim off your excess. And then we'll add a clasp up the back like we did in the first one. First thing I'm going to do is just straighten my wires out. So I just run my fingers from the crimps up to the top and get them to be about the same distance. And then I'm going to measure what I've got here. I've got 24 inches, which I think I'm going to go a little shorter. This one I feel like would be nice, kind of closer on your neck. So if I take off about 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 Now I'll be down to 22. Plus my clasp. I think that looks like it'll be comfortable on me. And then we're gonna pull out the hook and eye clasp. These are so pretty. Such a beautiful hammered artisan look to them. And just using your crimping pliers, you're gonna slide down your crimp. Slide on your clasp, make yourself a loop. Do you guys go around in the rounder part a few times after crimping with those regular crimping pliers? It wasn't something I knew to do for a while, but it does make sense. So by going around a few times, I don't, Abby. We at Softflex Company, none of us use wire guards. You know, Softflex beading wire is really, really supple, and the nylon coating on it, especially on our original and our soft touch beading wire brands, is top notch. It's got a nice thick nylon coating, so you don't have to really worry about anything bothering the wire. And then we also have so many colors that, you know, a lot of times I think people might use wire guards to protect the wire because they're afraid it's going to snap, and our wire's not going to do that. And they might also use it if they're want the finished look to be cleaner because maybe they're using just like a standard stainless steel color wire. But we've got so many wire colors that you can let the little bit peek out, and it would just be more of an aesthetic choice. So now that I've got this guy on here, I think I got to do a little squeezy. Right? I would think I would just need to use my nylon jaw pliers and maybe just squeeze that clasp closed a little bit more so that I can get this on and off, but not too easily. Cool. So there's the gold and there is the silver. Fern says she used wire guards, but I never went around with these crimping pliers. Yeah, so when you do, a lot of times people just crimp the back and then turn it and crimp the front. And so this is called the rounder in the front. By going around the crimp a little bit more, you're just giving, so go around like a few more times, you're giving the crimp a little more structure, kind of squishing it down into the nylon of the beading wire, letting it grab it a little bit better, and work hardening and shaping that crimp tube. Thank you. These are like so super glamorous. I have to find some really great place to go wearing these once I can go out in the world again. Once we can go out and celebrate. Two wonderful, elegant ideas for your new year. Add a lot of sparkle and shine. And don't forget, if you get your cart, it's $9 or more, you just use the coupon code GOLD for a free strand of the gold beads, or you use the coupon code SILVER for a free strand of the silver beads. Thank you guys for being with me here again this Monday. I'm gonna put them, oh, you know what? I should put them on a little neck piece. That always makes it a little easier to see, doesn't it? I set my neck pieces up behind me so that they are an easy, easy grab. Yeah, the overlapping onyx squares are available. The glass, Murano glass squares are not available. Those were from a Softlex live sale. Yeah, the black onyx stringing wire is super pretty. So here's the black one. Oh, I mean, this is just so cool. I'm really excited to have used these today. This is just such a neat focal, so unique. So those matte onyx overlapping beads, yes, they are available. And then we also have them in a couple of other shapes. So there's some like overlapping diamond shapes. There's some cylinders and some rectangles. And this one I made a little bit shorter, which I think worked out well for this particular design. Let me see what you said, Tony. Does the black scratch easily? The onyx beads? I don't think so. I'm gonna just kind of take a look. Yeah, they don't seem to scratch. Like, I'm just using my fingernail on them and I'm not seeing any issues with them scratching. What they may do though is they might pick up a little bit of like your oils from your fingers or perfume or something. So it may be good, good practice just to wipe them down if it's like on your skin and not on top of your shirt, or if you were wearing perfume or something that day. But I don't notice any scratching or anything like that happening on them. Looks ritzy. I know, this one especially looks super ritzy, doesn't it? I love it. So these guys, you might be able to pick up something like this on a Softlex Company live sale. I know we've had some in the past and maybe you've actually picked some up already but haven't used them. So doing something like that might be, oh, I love how they lay together. Yeah. Yeah, they're really neat, Tony. Cool. Thank you guys so much. I know I've been rambling on a little bit here. My goal was to try and get my videos shorter, and this is probably the longest one I've done in a while. So I'm not reaching those goals that well, but I can't help it. I'm long-winded. Happy holidays to everybody. I will see you guys here again next Monday for a new episode of Free Spirit Beading at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Some upcoming videos we have is Sarah over on the Softlex Facebook page on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. And then we have the live sale next Tuesday, December 29th at 1 p.m. Pacific time over on the Softlex Company Facebook page. So if you're new here, please subscribe and hit the notifications button to be notified when we upload some new videos. We do a couple a week. And if you like today's projects, please give me a nice thumbs up. I really appreciate that, and so happy you guys spent some time with me here today. Hope you have a wonderful week, wonderful holiday, and I will see you next time. Bye.